Well, here we are, Paul. April 2026. When's the last time we met? Would have been
I can't remember.
November. I think it was in November. We had talked about the camp.
Oh yeah, the camp. Yeah.
Any updates you have on that, or do you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, I can give a small update about the camp. The camp didn't actually happen. Partly it was funding issue, but also it was the timing was not right. It coincided with the election period in Uganda. And the election period was quite chaotic here because the networks went off and things were a bit bizarre. So no parents could trust you with their children in uncertain times. So we couldn't do a camp.
That was an interesting time to be in Uganda, let me tell you, for me. But because we've been gone for so long, we've missed out on talking about things like that. But but go ahead. Anything else you want to say about the camp? I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, it's okay. The camp didn't happen. There's not much to say. But maybe the other thing is that we plan to do it again. So we had time to maybe reorganize and plan better and market, because we invested a lot of time and some resources into it.
Yes, you did.
It pushed us back a bit, but we plan to come back stronger. Usually we target for holidays for the children when they're not in school. And right now the school times are going on, and usually the first term there's a very short holiday, so we're targeting the longer term holidays, probably towards the end of the year.
Yeah. And of course it was election season, so that kind of made it more difficult. Things get kind of crazy around election. Every 5 years you have an election here, right?
Every 5 years.
Every 5 years. But we haven't been around. So what is it? November, December, January, February, March, April. It's been 5 months. We've missed a lot of things. All the whole thing with the Iran war, we probably could have been talking about. I think we said at one time that we were talking about how Trump seemed in his first term seemed to be the one president that didn't start any new wars.
Yeah.
So much for that.
I know, right?
I don't know. It's just something about America and war. I mean, with Biden, it was the whole Ukraine thing, and Obama, it was Syria. With Bush, it was Iraq and Afghanistan, and the first Bush, it was Iraq, and it's just, there's just war after war after war. Vietnamese in the 60s, but there's a whole story about that. But anyways, there's all kinds of interesting things. But where have we been? What's been going on? So I have been very, very ill over the last 5 months. Things have not been going well for me at all. And, we had several videos where I said, doctors in Uganda are finding what's wrong with me, and I'm getting kind of the answers I never got in the U.S. And then it was in about December that everything just went wrong for me. There was bacterial infections, there was fungal infections. My heart was racing. There was things going on in my ears. There was throbbing and pain and pressure, and I had neurological stuff going on. And it turned into this perfect storm to where I wasn't able to function. Like, I haven't really gone much of anywhere in 5 months. I've only been to church once. I haven't really gone, my wife and I, we don't go out on date nights anymore because I've been so unwell. I haven't been able to go to many places. We've been to doctors a lot. We haven't been out that much. I was in the hospital for 10 days in December after going through 2 to 3 or more, maybe it was a month's worth of antibiotic treatment that wasn't working. Things kept getting worse. I was on this IV. So they first started giving me pills. That didn't work. Then they put me on IV once a day. That didn't work. Then they put me on IV twice a day. That didn't work. I kept getting worse. I was so sick, and there was one point that I'm like thinking, I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna make it through this. I went into the hospital. There's this hospital up here in Tebby where I've been going for those treatments, and they put me in, and I was so bad, they put me in an ambulance. They sent me to Kampala, and I was in there for 10 days. I left after 10 days. And I was pretty much good again. My heart rate had come down. They got me to see a cardiologist. They got me to see a blood specialist. I was still going through treatments while I was there. They got everything taken care of. I was released from the hospital. I seemed to be okay. 10 days later, everything started coming back. And then in January, it got far, far worse. Especially around that election week. That election week was horrible. One of the worst weeks of my life, when we were kind of cut off from the world, you know. And there was curfews at night. And I didn't want to go out there during that time period. But and that was the time where at night we would hear gunshots going off, you know.
Yeah.
I think where you were, it was pretty calm, wasn't it?
My place was a bit calm, but there was also presence for militaries. So
there was a lot of presence, but it was curfews, and it didn't get out of hand. It wasn't really that bad, but every once in a while you hear gunshots go off. And there was some people, there was small groups of people that were creating chaos around Entebbe, but those got shut down pretty quickly. But then in January, I lost my hearing in my left ear. And then I have a, what do you call it, a ruptured eardrum, permeate, what do you call it when you have a hole in your eardrum? Perforated eardrum? I'm not sure what it is. It's huge, though. It's a big hole, big tear. And I don't know if it's going to heal, but it's creating chronic problems right now. Like I said, I've lost most of my hearing in this ear. I'm having constant feelings of pressure and pain and throbbing, and it's just oppressive. And I'm still having the neurological problems that's being treated by medication. So you helped me actually to find somebody that's been helping me to, you know, get the medication I need to help me with the neurologic stuff, because I was having trouble getting the medication for the neurological stuff. So that's being taken care of. So the only thing...
It's just a ruptured eardrum.
Yes. So I'm dealing with this one final problem. Everything else is good, but this one final problem is very oppressive because it's hard.
And it's a tricky one.
It's a tricky one because I'm now half deaf. I mean, eventually I can do a hearing aid, but we got to settle the ear down, and the ear just won't settle down. And some nights are so bad, and it's like it drains my energy. Like I can't sleep at night because it's ringing. The ringing is so loud. You know, there's constant ringing, there's constant throbbing, there's constant pressure, and it goes up and down. It oscillates. Like some days it's really extreme, and other days it's still there, but it's like right now it's still happening, but it's manageable. But it's been, I don't know, I hope I haven't entered into the age of chronic suffering for the rest of my life.
I hope you can find some way to manage this.
Yeah. So just wanted to give everyone kind of an update of where we've been and why we've been. And you've been quite busy at the camp, and I know you've moved, and
I'm at a stage in my life where I'm trying different things to make ends meet.
So it's been tough for you too.
Yeah, kinda. I started my own business. I'm self-employed, and it's a bit rough per se, but I'm also starting another business with someone else. We're going to create an app where for utilities, something like that. So I'm trying to find different ways to also stabilize and take care of my family.
And what's to say here about you're getting married?
The plans of getting married. They should have been sooner, but then things happen, but it will happen within the year. Within the year, okay. Within the year, we should be able to get married, and I would like to start siring children as well.
Children,
have a family.
Yep, nice. So, all right. I mean, I don't know when we're going to get together. I mean, for me, it's just this, even doing this little bit, it's taken a lot of energy out of me. And I don't know when we're going to be back, but I just want everyone to know that I am still alive. We're still alive. We're still here. Maybe someday we'll be able to get back to doing regular videos.
Surely positive about that.
Yeah, we're just hopeful. I mean, like I said, all of my problems, except for one, is taken care of. But right now, they don't know if my hearing's going to come back. The whole thing is to settle the ear, settle it down. Then
when you say my hearing, someone may feel like it's all your ears. So you want to be specific. My hearing on one side.
One side.
Yeah.
I'm almost deaf in this ear.
Yeah.
But the ringing, when you lose your hearing, all you hear is ringing. Like what takes the place of the sound is ringing. So I just hear this piercing, screeching all the time. And that just becomes so unbearable to live with sometimes. And there's throbbing because there's an injury in there. There's a hole in there. There's throbbing. There's pressure. And every time water gets in there, I can't get any water in there. I have to keep the ear completely dry, completely clean. I have to keep going in regularly to the ENT to make sure that the ear is cleaned out. Because anything that gets in there, you can get an infection very quickly, very rapidly. And then you could be in serious trouble. You just have to keep it clean. I have to stay out of the pool. I can't go into the water. Even when I take a shower, I have to put cotton in my ear. I have to make sure no water gets in that ear. But there are options. Like if there's surgery, if this doesn't heal on its own, it can be healed. It can be closed surgically. But my ENT believes that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. If we can stabilize the ear, let the ear try to heal on its own, and then if the hearing doesn't come back, we do a hearing aid, and then. So it's not like the cause is lost. It's just that right now, the problem is there. You would think it's just an ear. It's a little thing, but a little thing creates big problems, and it affects your whole mental state, physical state, your whole exhaustion levels. And on top of what I've been through over the last 5 months, I'm already exhausted and worn out from everything I've been through. And I've never had a break. It's been 5 months of constant. I've not had a break since November. At least if I've had, it's been so brief. There might be a day where everything seems to be normal, and then like those 10 days after I got released from the hospital, had a little break, but then it came back. And every once in a while I get a day where everything comes back to normal. I'm like, wow, everything's back. Even my hearing comes back. It pops. I can hear again. And it's like I have this day where everything is normal, and then the next day everything is back.
But maybe you never know. Some of the people listening are experts at this, and they could.
Can I offer some suggestions, advice? I've seen several ENTs here in Uganda already. Other options would be, when I saw an ENT in the U.S. in March, because I was in the U.S. March of 2025, none of these problems were there. Like, I went because I had to get some wax cleaned out. But the ENT in the U.S. in March of 2025, which is a little over a year ago, didn't see any problem at all.
What caused the rupture, though? Could it be the constant waxing and all that? Maybe that's what caused it.
Or maybe it was the infection. Did an infection cause a rupture?
Okay.
Because here's the part that was strange. My hearing was there in December, but when I was going through all of this stuff in December at the local hospital, when I was going in twice a day, he told me I had a ruptured eardrum. But when they sent me to the hospital in December, after all the treatments here didn't work, I said, well, they said in Entebbe that I had a ruptured eardrum, and they said, you don't have a ruptured eardrum. And I think I did, but maybe somebody missed it. Maybe it was small at the time. They missed it when I was in the Kampala hospital, and then something happened. It got bigger. Maybe when the infection came back in January, it ruptured. I don't know. It's hard to say. Because I have pictures. I went to an ENT in July 2025. Also, been to a lot of ENTs. Because I have a regular problem with wax buildup. So I have to go get that cleared out once in a while. It's been, most of my life I've had to do that. I have pictures of my eardrum in July of 2025, and there's no hole in the eardrum. There's no ruptured eardrum. So the rupture was not there when I saw the ENT in the U.S. in March. It was not there when I saw the ENT in July. Something happened around, in December he said he saw it, so it was slight. but they missed it in the hospital. But maybe it was so small, and maybe it had even healed. Maybe it was even in the process of healing because it was small and they'd missed it. Well, the infection came back. It was so weak it just ruptured, and now it's a big hole in my ear. It's big. It's huge. So
the hope is that it can heal by itself, or
yeah, the hope is.
What does healing by itself mean? Like it can get back?
Yeah, it just heals. It's like a wound, and it heals. But sometimes the bigger ones don't heal. If they're too big, you sometimes have to surgically. You have to do surgery to. But the ideal is you want it to heal on its own, and that's why he doesn't want to do surgery, only as a last resort. And he says he doesn't feel that surgery is necessary at this point. We keep monitoring it, keep it clean. Let's stabilize the ear. Let's see if we can get it to heal on its own. Let's see how much of the hearing comes back. And it's possible we get this thing to stabilize. The hearing doesn't come back. We get on a get a hearing aid. So it's not like there's a lost cause here. And at some point we'll be back. But I haven't been able to do videos for 5 months because I have been so sick for 5 months. I haven't been able to do much of anything. And it's just been rough. It's been one of the roughest periods of my life. It really has been.
Well, I guess we're glad to have you here.
Yeah, I'm still. Like I said, there was one night. The day they sent me to the hospital. The night before, it was so bad. Everything was so bad. My heart wouldn't stop racing. I mean, it was so excessive. It was like everything was haywire in my whole body. I wasn't even sure I was going to live. It was so scary.
I know.
My wife and I were we were crying, and I'm getting too personal here, but
well, what you're talking about is normal.
It's normal. And then I'm calling people in the U.S. and I'm telling people what's going on in the U.S. and they're getting worried. I'm panicking people in the U.S. and it's interesting because you see who really cares about you because you tell people, and you see how people react and people are concerned about you, and people that I work with are concerned about me, and it's you really kind of see to
whom you matter more.
Yeah, you seem to you learn who you matter to the most. So I'm still here, and I'm not in any life-threatening situation anymore. I'm past that. It's just, am I going to get the hearing back? Oh, and then I hurt my back about 3 days ago. Yeah, so I've got some back pain now, and so I don't know what happened. I pulled a muscle or something. I don't know how that happened, but it could be because I haven't been moving around much. And, it's been some hospital visits the last couple of days, and they had to travel for it. And you know what those taxis are like? We take a taxi into Kampala, and those seats are just uncomfortable and miserable, and maybe
they're gone. They're gone.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know, but it'll heal. I'll be okay with that. So,
all right.
But yeah, so we'll be hopefully back another time. We'll back to discussing real issues.
This is a real issue. Your health is a real issue.
Yeah, that's true. I shouldn't say it that way. We'll be discussing issues in the news again.
Yeah.
So many things that we've missed that we could have talked about because it's been interesting the last 5 months.
Yeah, it's been interesting.
If that's the right word, I don't know if that's the right word. It's been a thing. So
a lot's been going on. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So I guess bye for now. I don't know when you'll see us again next, but thanks for watching, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye.